Hi guys. Okay, live's gonna take a couple minutes. Let's see what we got here. Put that in there. Wanted to double check this. I think that's the wrong. This may be the wrong one. Oh, no. Must be that one. Okay. All right. This is in my stash of Sunday stuff to do, so I thought I'd work on it a little bit. Just make a couple more. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm just, like I said, I'm just doing a couple things to use up some time. Let's see here. Need a bottom. Uh-oh. Would help if I folded it straight, right? Okay, what's going on? Too many glasses. It's about time I showed up. I would show up at 1 o'clock, dear. Maybe you should show up. No, 1:30. I don't show up at 1 o'clock. I show up at 1:30. It used to be 1 o'clock. Now it's 1:30. Just simply because I just don't have time. These are getting folded based on the size of the page, if y'all didn't realize that. Okay. Let's see here. We need to cut off this piece. The schedule said 12:50. Oh, 1:12. Well, it's 1:31. Aha. It is 1:31 on mine too. The 12:15 thing is because I'm having to come on and getting in. I may not go live, but I have to come on and get in early because I've been having some internet trouble. So I have to get on, make sure it's actually working before I go live. A couple Sundays ago, I tried twice and it just absolutely did not work. It was just bad. So okay. That's gonna work, but it's a little needs to come off of there just a little bit. You know, that hair that you want it so that it lays down good. Yeah, like that. 1:15, just saying, because you sorry about that. I'm sorry. Then I had to go get tea because you know the tea fairy might not come. You never know whether he's asleep or not. Hi, Sherry. I started these. These have been in my Sunday bin for a while. So I just I have some pre-painted. These are just pages out of a book, and I've just been painting them with my Inktense. I did that before. Now I'm just trying to. I'm going to make another one of these. That's what I'm doing. Actually, I'll probably make two. But let's see. Now I need it the top of the envelope. How tall am I going to make it? Right there? Okay. Let's open this up. You know, they're so exact. Yeah, right. Okay, so now let's see here. I need to cut this. This one gets cut a little bit at an angle. No, that's better. And we'll cut this one at an angle. Oh, that angle's really bad right there. Before I forget, I will not be here next Sunday. We will either already be in Elkhart or we will be driving to Elkhart. Hi, Julie, Sherry, Jamie, Lisa. Hi, everybody. And whoever's out there in just watching. Okay, so I got another one. Let's just do another one. I'm going to do two. It's just a matter of trying to accomplish some of the things that I have in my stash. Anyways, because next Sunday, I won't be here. I don't know if there will be a video. Just don't know if I'm going to get time. Things have been just a little crazy around here. So, if I can, I'll put a video up. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to... Hi, Ellen. Okay, once we have Wi-Fi that works, let me see what's going on here. Oh, they're away, and once they have Wi-Fi that works. Yay! Hi, Ellen, and welcome. I'm just piddling here for a few minutes until until it gets to be a few minutes later and a few more people get here so that I can do my little journal page. I like the size of this book page. It's I don't remember what book it came out of. It's something about Habitat Guide to Birding. So I need to get the top of this one done. And no, I didn't measure. I'll show you what I'm doing in just a minute here. Basically, because every book is going to be a different size, so I didn't measure on the first one, and I didn't measure on this one. So This way you can use the whole page of the book or a sheet of paper or whatever you know, a calendar page, whatever you want. But I'll talk you through it here in just a minute. Come here. Okay, so did I get them good? All right, because I want a mostly white front on my envelope, I just folded this raw edge in, and then I folded the other side in enough that it just tucks under there so that when I glue it down, it will be an envelope. Then I just folded up the bottom. I'm going to round the corners on that. And I folded down the top based on how tall I wanted the envelope. I could have made a longer flap and brought it down further, but this is kind of like a faux coin envelope. So now I just want to ink it before I do anything else. The other thing I need to do is put this little circle in because this does not fit down in there very well. So if you do this first, but first I need to find the middle. Okay, because it's not, this is not folded all the way over. So I need to find the middle. Okay, come here. Hi, Barbara. Like the ink blending on all the edges showing too. Yes, thank you. I liked it too. I did that one a long time ago, and I'm going to tell you, Julie, I forgot to put the ink. Just a minute, and I'll show you where I forgot to put the ink, and that way you can see it. Every once in a while, I forget to do that, and I'll show you what I do when I do forget it. There we go. Okay, so now I have the center. Okay, so I forgot to put the ink along this raw edge. So I either used, and I cannot remember, this is a Derwent Inktense pencil in brown. I also have a Stabilo All pencil in brown. Where'd it go? Oh. All right. The brown one has disappeared. It's probably tucked into something somewhere. Anyways, it's one of these Stabilo All pencils. That's just a regular pencil. One of these. And so once you draw on it like that, and then you water it with a water brush, and that kind of made the ink. Hi, Teresa. But since I am not forgetting this time, we will do that first. But first we need to cut this. And I have my circle punch. Okay, something is funky with my chat. There we go. I have my circle punch marked. Can you see them? This is the center of the circle, and that's how far down. Julie, I was actually, I was in Houston with Jamie, as a matter of fact, when I found that they had other colors, and I got a couple of colors, and that's why I'm wondering, because I don't think my blue one's in here too, so it's probably still in stuff that went in the camper. This is not a red one. This is a plain graphite one. But I bought a couple when I was with Jamie in Houston at a really cool art supply store that Jamie and her husband took me to. Blue, black, brown, yellow. They may have a red and a green. This one, I have a green one somewhere. But then I was somewhere else in an art supply store and found, I think in Tucson, and found some more colors. And so I've bought every color I could find. Anyways, when I use this, I can line up the little marks so that it ends up fairly well centered and not too far down. Now we need ink. Yeah, red and green. Yeah. And I don't think I have a yellow one. I have, I bought 2 brown ones because of that. Now, I also found these Derwent Inktense pencils. Like I said, I've got a couple of colors of brown. I have a whole 12 pack of these, of, different colors. Back when Joann's was still in business, they had these Derwent Inktense pencils. What do you call that when they're open source? So you could buy just what you want. And I like these Stabilo Alls a little better than these, but these worked. That was before I realized you could get the ones in brown. So I don't like to forget this one. That's the one I keep forgetting. Yeah, the Woodies, yeah, they come in a lot of colors too. Okay, I need my roundy corner punchy thing. You want to do a good bit of your inking before you glue this together, because if you don't, you can't get to things. And that did not round good, so. Okay. It's got sharp points, and I don't like it. There we go. Can it be reused? If you put the ink pad in water to dye paper, wait a minute. If you put the ink pad in water to dye paper and Ellen, I think it would take your ink out of the pad. I wouldn't do that. That was the first art supply Linda bought for you. Well, she knew what you needed, didn't she? Linda, or Ellen, that's going to take the ink out of your dye pad, and so I would say that's not probably a very good thing. Now, okay, this is re-inker for my dye pad, for my vintage photo. Is that the vintage photo? I hope that's the vintage photo. Yeah, this is a vintage photo. It's a re-inker for this ink pad, and you can use a little bit of this ink in there. But I suppose you could re-ink the pad. But I would, I don't think I'd want to put my pad down in the water, Barbara. I mean, you probably could re-ink the pad, but I somebody have to experiment with that one. I guess I have some really old pads. It also depends on what kind of ink pad it is, because some ink pads will not. Some of the ink is not totally water based. Okay, so this ink is a mixture, and it's permanent and waterproof. Hi, Lisa. So I don't know what it would do in water. Now I have just a minute. Let me find it, or one of them. These are old Stampin' Up. This is called water-based dye ink. Okay. These are re-inkers for ink pads. You can re-ink your Stampin' Up markers, and a few drops of this in water would work too. Yeah, Lisa, how you doing this week? I don't think I told y'all last week she got released to drive. Yay! That's a big deal. So one of these days I am going to try some. I have some tie dye, whatever you want to call it, tie dye for fabric. Um, one of these days I'm going to try that to dye some paper. I know you can use RIT dye too. Those of you who weren't here a few minutes ago, I will not be here next week. I don't know if we'll be back by the week after that, but I don't think so. So, ew, ouch, Lisa. That doesn't sound good. Okay, that edge is going to be covered up. So is that edge. Okay, right? Yes. Yes, okay. Okay, guys. I don't know, Julie. I have, at the time I was a demonstrator, I bought or got earned all of the different colors. They've changed colors again. And Stampin' Up! Ink pads have changed. They are a little different now than they originally were. Originally, they just opened like that. Now they have that flippy thing that happens. And I thought I had one here. Just a minute. I have to make a squeaky noise with my... Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's not it. Okay, I don't have an old style one. I do own some, but I don't have one. Are yours like this, Julie? Hi, Joyce. My problem with these is if they get wonked out, they get broke. Yes, that slide and lift thing. Yeah. But you can't sit them sideways. They have to sit flat. So that is especially if they're juicy. Hi, Sharon. I started to say though, these new, I got these. Got them. I'll try to remember to put a link down below. But I got these rounded ones instead of these flat ones. See how these flat ones are? I like them a lot better. A lot better. It's funny how something simple makes things a little easier. I thought I might get a couple of these done so that I could put them in my nature journal. I can't remember. Have I done one or two things? I don't remember what this week was. It's yeah. Things are just going that way, guys. It's just yeah. Okay. I can't remember anything right now. But we are supposed to leave for Elkhart sometime this next week. I don't know when, because our rig's supposed to be back out of paint on Monday. On Monday. So, okay, chat is moving, and I'm not sure. But guys, if I miss saying hello, I'm really glad everybody's here to watch me make a mess. But you know, okay, let's see if this one is complete and we can glue it. Yeah. I need to switch my glue bottle. This one is kind of sad. I did buy a new one while we were on our last trip. I was in a nice little scrapbook store south of Elkhart in an Amish lady's home, and was able to get that without ordering it. Oh, I'm making a decorated little envelope. That's what I'm making. I keep these little odd job things in my I have a basket that I use for Sundays for my live streams, and I try to keep projects that I want to do a little bit of here and there. So I'm going to make another envelope like this. Now you can definitely tell I used a different colored ink on that one. Can you got, I don't know if it's going to show. Okay, who are we talking about, guys? I missed it. No, I have not heard anything from him, Joyce. I haven't seen him in chat in a long time. Yep, it's a different brown, so it's all right. I don't care. it's not like I'm going to use this in exactly the same place anyway. So, all right. So we need to, I need to do one of these. I need to cut something out. So that means we got to fussy cut something. I think we'll go with this one. This purple one. Okay. I like how I took the name and didn't put it underneath that. I put it up there. Kind of like that. Except I need to straighten it up. It's a little crooked. Okay. And then I think I must have used, see here for this. Are they irises? Yes, they're irises. Some kind of iris, I think. This is what they are, Julie. If you can read this. Uh-oh. Nope, you can't read it. Just a minute. I'll fix it. And that way you can look them up, what they are. Okay, come on. COELOGYNE CRISTATA. So there's some kind of iris, but I don't know what kind. You know, maybe if I zoomed in a little bit, you guys could see a little bit better. That might help, huh? There we go. How's that? Yeah, Jeff always forgets to recharge his. Okay, so we will need to ink those. We need to tear the edge on this. Get out my lovely little tear ruler, thanks to Lisa. Yeah, I hope he's okay too. But no, I haven't. And I haven't seen any videos from him either, so. Jamie, are you still here? If you are, how's your son doing? Okay, that's. Okay, so now then, let's see here. Oh, well, I don't think we want it that big. Don't like it that big either. So we need to tear that off a little. I am. He's doing very well. Thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, that's always the way it works, Barbara. When you really want it to work, it doesn't. So. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that better, much better. It just needs to be offset a little bit. Something that, there we go. Okay, so here's the thing. If the white piece wasn't back there, see what happens when I put the words on top of the other words that are on the page? Doesn't show up. See, okay. So by putting this piece under there, it'll show up better. So that's the plan. That is the plan. I'm going to make these 2 envelopes, and then I will get on with my little journal page. Besides, then I'll have a bunch of little pieces right there. Little tiny pieces are hard to ink. Just, they are. Our radios that we use in the camper do that. We have like little handheld shortwave radios so that we can talk to our friends when they're driving in front of us or behind us. They actually have 2 of them, and they use them when they're parking. We don't, but Jeff and I have been doing it for a while, so we kind of have hand signals pretty well down. Okay. Let's glue these on. Glue. Well, I'm sorry your back is hurting because, you know, it's not fun to want to do something and not be able to do it. Jeff's brother came over this morning. All of our Jeff's their dad's mail goes to Perry's house because we can't trust Dad to not throw it in the trash can, for one thing. And so it all goes over to Perry's house. And so, but I pay the bills. I pretty much write the checks and pay his bills and stuff. So all the papers, if there are papers, because you know most of it's online now. Anyways, that all goes to Perry's house. So every so often he comes over. Anyways, what I started to tell you is he got out of the Jeep and he's bent over in half because his back is hurting so bad. I'm like, maybe you should take some something for that. There. So now I have 2. Not exactly the same, but they're okay. I don't mind if it's different colored ink, but let's finish this one. And then we will get on with something else. Let's see. have found that doing the ink on the table this way is easier than trying to hold it in my hand if it's a big enough piece. I've been inking all of the pages in the nature journal, and it was just so much easier to do it flat like this. Thanks, Barbara. I really like how they're coming out. They're you could put it in as an envelope, you could put it in as a pocket, you could glue it down. Now I'm inking the backs, but you know, you wouldn't have to ink the back if you were going to glue it down. Now, part of the thing is that these pages, one of the reasons I really like this particular book, I'll show you a page in a minute. Just a second. Let me finish inking this. Let's see. Did I get, no, I didn't get the sides on this one. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Needs to be inkied a little more. There we go. Little more grungy. Here, I like that. Okay, so one of the things I liked about this particular book, and I'm going to have to figure out where I left it because I just have these in the envelope. For some unknown reason, the print is all on one half of the page. And so there's this really wide creamy colored border, so it makes the pocket where it's got more open space. Laminated some paper to do it that way and got out of the habit. It depends on how I want the ink blending to look. Yes, that's true, Julie. This is a Teflon sheet that I have taped to my table. It's been on my table for ages. Back before I knew what I was buying. This is oh, I didn't have to do that edge. Oh well. This is what they called a splat mat. It was a craft mat, and considerably more expensive than it should have been. Basically, I have a couple more. They're Teflon mats, and the one I use in the camper I got at the kitchen supply place. They're like a Teflon baking mat, and they work beautifully. And I have since ordered some on Amazon. But I keep one of these in the camper so that I can just do stuff on the table and not worry about it. Because if I had to worry about it all the time, I'd be really unhappy. It's just so much easier to have it already done. Easy, you know, something I can just unroll, not have to worry about the table. It is warm in here. There we go. Okay. Okay, barbecue plate mat. Okay, seeing I've seen those barbecue mats in where we have this place called Ollie's, and I think a lot of you know that we have those Ollie's stores. Anyways, Julie, we have it's just like a discount store, and they've had barbecue mats, but the one I bought is like you're supposed to put it like on your cookie sheets and stuff like that, and it's not supposed to let stuff go through. So I am not sure, but the one I have doesn't let the ink go through, so I really like it. So okay, I'm thinking maybe this one. I like that one. I need to finish inking all of these and then painting all of them and then getting them cut out. It would make it easier. Huh. That would be very disappointing, Julie. Now, I would tell you, if ink leaks through this one, then I haven't seen it, but it's on top of cardboard. The one I have that I keep in the camper does not leak, so Crafter's Choice was the brand, huh? Oh, is that Crafter's Choice? Isn't that the Dollar Tree brand? I can't remember what they are. Excuse me, I was thirsty. Okay, we need to ink this. Barbara, what time do you have to go to sing? Do you have time for meds to kick in? I hope so. Go. About 5 minutes. Already feels better. Well, that's good. I'm glad. Okay, my ink pen has got so much glue around the top of it, it's not going all the way in. So we got to do something about that. There we go. I got to hunt up another magnet for my new bottle, too. That's another thing. And get it glued on the bottle. Because if any of you remember, that was really hard to do. It did not want to stay on that bottle. Hi, Tony. Welcome. Didn't get a lot of envelopes made, but I got a couple made. So pockets, envelopes, whatever you want to call them. There we go. So we have a couple of little, okay, let me fix this again. Dang, my eyes are bad today. Anyways, I think they're cute. I love the iris one. So that'll be fun. They'll be fun to use. I just, You mean like a self-sealing cutting mat, Barbara? Okay, so we have those. Let's put them back in their little envelope so that I can clean up my desk a little bit. Okay. There. Now they're ready for another Sunday. Can make a few more. Yay. And let's make a little journal page. Huh, that's interesting, Barbara. I never heard that. I have some really cute little irises. They call them swamp irises here. They're so tiny. They're like, when they grow, the flower is about the size of my thumb, and they're white with a purple center. They're very different, but yes, a regular quilting craft mat. Yeah. And you can get those pretty cheap. Um, I have two of them, I think, sitting right here. I have a longer one and a shorter one. I may have taken one out and put it in my camper stuff. But I have this one. This one is, but this is kind of a high end one. This is not a cheap one. I have another bigger one sitting down there. That's also not a real expensive one. I seem to collect those. I don't know why. I seem to. Let's see. Let's put that away. We have to clean up a little bit. Otherwise, we have no room. So, okay. We need some trashy stuff, don't we? I have no idea, Teresa. Oh, I forgot. Teresa sent me a Happy Mail. I need to go get it. I'll be right back, okay? Yeah, because maybe I should use a piece of this Happy Mail today. Teresa, I haven't decided. I started on my nature journal and it's 8 by 8. So, that's, I really like that square size. So I just don't know what I'm going to do with it because I haven't really started on it. Teresa sent me some happy mail because she knows I'm going to do a sunflower journal. And I pulled it out, Teresa, but I didn't actually go through it all because I wanted to save it until y'all were here, and I forgot to put it over here on my table. So thank you, Teresa, very, very much. And when I figure out what I'm going to do with the sunflower journal, maybe after the nature journal, that should be the next one, is the sunflower journal. Especially since somebody sent me pretties. Isn't that gorgeous? I actually haven't gone through the whole envelope. I don't want to show off your address, Teresa. And if y'all didn't know, I think Teresa's a die cutting queen. She makes all these really pretty die cuts. Isn't that pretty? Okay, Barbara, talk to you later. We are definitely traveling, Barbara. We have to go to Elkhart sometime this week. And I think looks like it's a little pocket. It's got what do you call that? Score marks there, like it's going to be folded where it will make a pocket, which I think is beautiful. And this one has some little leaves in it. I'm just gonna pull. I don't want to pull them completely out because if I do, then I'll lose them. But this one she's made a center and then it has leaves. And isn't that pretty? But I think this is gorgeous too. I love that the center is not shiny, Teresa, where the rest is. See, I didn't open this up, but this is, ooh, goody. This is goody paper. This is interesting, Teresa. This looks like it's butcher paper. Teresa, what is this? I know she's painted on it, but yeah, it's amazing, Happy Meal. Oh, look. Those will be perfect. This is awesome. It's baking paper that you feather painted. Okay. Did it come like in a roll or something? Because my baking paper is not printed on. Well, I see the feathers now. See the feathers? Hmm. I'm thinking I might use one of these stickers and a piece of that and some of this in my little journal page today. Just because we're going to see. Don't know yet. I'm going to put the rest back in Teresa's bag because, not bag, envelope. It's mine now. Okay. It is on a roll. Okay. That is really awesome paper. I'll have to figure out where that came from. I have some really cool tissue paper. Yeah, tissue paper that I got when I was having to order boxes and things from a company a paper supply company. I don't order from there anymore because I don't use enough of that kind of stuff. But back when I was ordering things to ship out beads with, I would do that. Okay, these are in the way. This is another one of my books that needs to be dealt with. So I thought if I got a chance, I'm going to punch some holes today. So, all right, so we have some little things. I have all of these little lovely pieces of paper, and for some reason I want to make some numbers today. I have these ink pads. These are pigment ink. How much do I need? Oh, I don't need anything, Teresa. Please don't send me any more until I use up that piece. When I tell you I've used up that piece, then I'll let you send me some. Thank you, though. These are pigment ink. Don't really like it a lot. The thing is they make some fun backgrounds. When they dry out, they're going in the garbage as they get dried out. But I thought I might use something like that to make a background today. What color is that? Oh, some kind of brown. But when they're dry, they're going to go away because they're just kind of useless. Okay. There's that and that and that. I am not using enough of my washi tape, so let's find some washi tape that maybe would go with this. I have some little leaves. That might be fun. There's rocks in this one. There are rocks and pieces of metal. Must have been parking lot treasure. Oh, there's rocks and parking lot treasure in that one too. I must have been just trying to clean up. Who knows? All right, so I was thinking now I need my little garbage basket. Okay. Here's my garbage basket. I have a little tag. It's kind of orange, but that's okay. We'll see if we want to use it. I have this ribbon. Some more. Oh, there was a piece of bark. Here's another piece. There's several pieces of bark in here. Well, let's pull them out. We'll see. This is a really fun little piece of paper. Teresa, remember that the stamps going to Sherry are international stamps. So do remember that. You have to have a... No, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to toss it, Teresa. Okay, here's a nice oh, I don't like the stamp that's on it though. I pulled it because of the color of the paper, but the stamp is a oceany thing. It's got a shark on it. I don't think we want that with our sunflowers. There's a little piece of dictionary paper. For those of you who haven't been here before, this is really cool. It's a barn. Oh, shoot. Let's see here. It's a barn with a flag on the side of it, which would go very good with sunflowers because, you know, in South Dakota, they grow a lot of sunflowers, actually. I'm just digging for some more leftovers that I think might go. I was going to use, oh, this might be fun to use. Last week, you know, we made those little flowers. I was going to use some of those this week, but I don't know if they'll go. We'll have to pull one out and see. Oh, here's a good piece of fabric too. Okay, let's find our other little flowers. They were pink though, so I don't think they're gonna go. These are the ones I made last week. Ugh, first thing I sent was the embroidery stuff. See, they're the ones I made last week with the little diamond dots, but they're kind of pink, and I don't think they really go with this week's vision here. So let's see what we can find in the way of a page that we like. Here's a nice white page. What's on the other side? That might work. It's got some kind of yellow stuff. Yeah, it might work. Let's find some clippies so that it stays down. What glue would I work on the baking paper? The art glitter glue should work just fine. Okay, that's not going to work because the clippy is too big and it's going up in the air. Let's see what happens if we... No, let's get a little clip. Okay. Even if we have to use two, it will be better. Okay, this one can go there, and these can go over here. My book is already getting fat. Okay, and I have an issue. Well, I think this is not always the best idea because it's three-dimensional, so therefore it's not laying flat good. And it's going to flex up and down. Just a minute. Oh, that nasty noise. I'm looking for something to put under it, guys. Give me just a second. I thought I had, well, I did, but now I don't know where it's at. So let's see what we can find. Here it is, right there. Okay. We'll just try putting this under there. Hopefully it will keep it from bouncing around too much. Thanks, Teresa. Okay, so when I do these, a lot of times I just take this and use it like color to change the background of the page. Just simply because that way it doesn't quite have just plain. It's got just a little something something on it. And that's why I say I'm using these up this way. They're not, they don't have a lot of ink left in them. I'm just kind of using them to make backgrounds on papers. They were inexpensive, and I've had them a long time. I'll also tell you they don't dry very fast, so that's another reason I'm not real fond of them. And I was thinking about using a piece of this. Maybe some dark green. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. This is just a piece of an embossing folder that I, piece of something that I embossed with an embossing folder. It was just in my scrap bin. A white ball pen, yay! I know how that goes, Julie. It's funny when I go, oh, this is so cool. And everybody around me goes, what? Okay. I think this is going to be a tab. I don't know why I'm starting with the tab first. I have no idea. We'll have to use our tiny attacher to attach this. Yep. Don't ask me why I'm putting the tab on first. But that's the way it works. Now, I don't like the backs of the staples, but for the moment, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to worry about it right this minute. I'll figure it out in a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, okay, you can see it. See this gold on there? I really like that. I'm too lazy to get out the scoreboard. Just so you know, I'm just too lazy to get it out. White corrugated cardboard. Yay! It's amazing what we can find. Okay. Okay, this is going to flip out like that. Where did my little piece of paper go? Okay, I like that. Okay, we'll go from there. So first off, we got to glue this down, and we need some more clamps. Okay, yes. The tab, yeah, I like how the tab came out. Glue. It requires glue. And I have no idea why this piece didn't have the whole thing embossed, why there wasn't a whole piece. But it was in my scrap bin, so, or my leftovers bin, whatever you want to call it. Okay. That'll get stuck down in a minute. Okay, if we do this piece, I had some little round pieces. Where did my little round pieces go? There they are. Okay. Sorry guys if I'm ignoring Chad. Don't mean to. I'm just, my brain's only working halfway today. Uh-oh. I'm squashing my bark. Teresa, thank you again for the happy mail. Okay. And that. Okay, so let's move these. Okay, we have that and this. And that. Okay. I'm just scrunching it up a little. Okay, now this opens. It's not finished, but this will open. And we're going to put some of this washi tape over that edge to just tie it together. And it's got little leaves on it. Okay. I think we want the vine to go right side up, so dang, it's warm in here. Whew. Okay, we're just going to put this right along that edge. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, it won't stick to this because it's got that ink on it for some reason. Come on, don't fall off the table. So we're going to have to really glue it down. Okay. All right. Now then, I want to put one of these little guys right there on. I'm going to have to start hunting up all of the sunflower stuff I have. I know I have some things. I just have not gotten them together. Okay, do I want this one? Or do I want this one? I think I want that one. Well, that's pretty sticky. It might have stuck by itself. Okay. We may end up with another one underneath here. Like that. That might be really pretty to put one of those like right there. But I think we will put another row of washi tape right along here. Texas Lisa, did Hannah get home all okay? Doesn't want to tear. There we go. Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad that they did all right. Okay, yeah, it needs one of these where it's just partially out, like right there. Which one? I like this one. We'll just use this one. That's kind of cool, just like that. Now I think we need some words. Yep, we need words. Okay. I have a mess, so I can't even get to my words. Okay, I'm going to drop stuff on the floor. Don't worry. Okay, something in here might be interesting. Okay, come on, come out. There we go. This one says, looking at morning dew serenading on the petals of flowers is an ecstatic moment. This makes us realize that it is the simple pleasures of life that give us the most happiness. We'll think about that one. Oh, what's this one? Okay, this doesn't fit the page at all, but it's kind of funny. I'll probably never fully become what I wanted to be when I grew up, but that's probably because I wanted to be a ninja princess. Okay. All right. Okay. But some of these are, there never yet was flower fair in vain. There never yet was flower fair in vain. Okay. What if the only purpose of a flower is to bloom without the sun, to prove that beauty will grow despite the constant darkness? Okay, I like that one. The night was so very still that one should have been able to hear the whisper of roses in blossom, the laughter of daisies, the piping of grasses, many sweet sounds all tangled up together. And I like the top one. Okay, I like this one too. Flowers always make people better, happier, and more helpful. They are sunshine, food, and medicine to the mind. I like both of those. Maybe we'll use two today. Put this one back. Have a sunshine day. Yep. Okay. This is just incomplete. Um, something about it is not it's not right. Okay, I had this little thing, this little farm. I'm just looking to see if I can find some other little tiny thing that um, I would like. It's not balanced right. That's the problem. Ah, made a mess. Sometimes, just sometimes, things just don't go in there the way you think they should. Just have to kind of play with it until I figure it out. Just one of those things. What color does everyone use at Christmas? Red and green or what? Do you mean like to decorate, Joyce, or in books, or just if you're talking about decorating like the house? I don't. When Brandon moved out, we quit having a tree, and when we moved here, I pretty much got rid of everything. I have a very few little Christmas ornaments that I kept to because they were from my childhood. But other than that, I don't. I got rid of everything. Um, Oftentimes we're not home at Christmas too, so that's part of it. I have some beautiful blue and gold Christmas papers that one of these days I'm going to make a book out of. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just do those two sayings in there. I am definitely not one of those people who does pink. Um, but if I were to use red and green, it would be muted. You know, the closer to burgundy or and more foresty. Okay. I'm going to just put this one right there. I like this little squiggle. I don't know. Can you guys see that squiggle? It was papers out of my mom's office stuff. It's like a embroidery design thing that apparently didn't print right, and so it got, stuck in the recycle bin. I think this needs some bling. That's part of the problem. Maybe that's the problem. It needs some bling. I wonder if I have some other things that might bling it up. Yeah, all of those colors would be pretty. At least I agree. Okay, it needs bling, so not sure what. We'll figure it out. Come here. Ugh. Okay, I like it, but it kind of takes away from my sunflowers. So we'll think about that. And of course, the bling in the drawer is buried. That's just a little weird jewel. I got a couple of those. They're from when we were playing with glitter. Got another one. Don't know. Don't know. These are just little glitter bubbles. Oh. Okay. So the kid across the street is mowing the lawn barefoot. That one is a paper clip. Let's see. Because this doesn't stay down very good. Maybe if I just paper clip it on there. Yep, No, I don't. Ah! You know, sometimes it's just, you just don't know. It just doesn't, things just aren't going the way you want them to. These little bubbles are kind of fat. That's the only thing I have up against them. Just don't really like them. So that's not working. Find something else. There'll be something else. Rustic barbecue sauce. I'm sure Jeffrey wishes he was with you. Poor man's going to get leftovers tonight because I'm not cooking. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take take a look at some of these and see what happens. See if we can do something to maybe just liven that up a little bit. What if we just put some brown ones of these in the middle of those? Middle of that. Maybe. Uh-oh, that's upside down. Not good. Let's put the brown ones in the middle of this sunflower and see if we like that. There's some, I got some brown ones. And maybe that will just dress it up enough to make me kind of happy with it. Now, we learned last week you need to leave this set for just a minute before you start trying to set gemstones down in it, because if you don't, then it they pick right back up. So we just wait a minute, say twiddle-dee-dee and twiddly-doo. Something about that is off. It's just, I mean, this is okay because it's kind of hidden and whatnot, but this is just not right. Something's not. I'll figure it out in a minute. It needs a bit of contrast color. Possibly. You know, Lisa, I have found I am much happier working with my pages before I bind them, because that way I can decorate them. I can go iron them. I can glue, you know, sew them, stuff like that. Okay, I can't see those at all. There we go. Okay. The nature journal I'm not going to put into my cover until I have it all finished, or at least 99% finished, so that. Okay, now that is going to have a little bit of white until until it dries, but it's got little I have a small bee that I could put on the bottom right? Yeah, something needs to go down there. Let me put these away so that I don't make a mess, because, you know, that'd be the thing, is they'll be dumped all over everywhere. One bee coming up. Now, should I stamp him on paper or should I stamp him directly on there? Probably should stamp him on paper. Yeah, that would, yeah. This is the bee I have on paper to make him stand out. That's what I'm thinking. But do I want to just use like this kind of paper, seeing how the others are all that color, or should I find something that has a color? Oh, my tea fairy's here. Yes. Thank you, hon. Would you do me a favor? Would you turn the air conditioner down 1 degree? It is warm in this corner. For some reason, the rest of the studio is cold. This corner's warm. Yeah, I know it's all the lights, but it's also this corner. I could make about 10 journals with the brown paper that Brandon has saved for me because oh, I wonder if I should stamp him on that green paper. I'm giving us options, guys. I'm looking for other things unless somebody has an opinion. Everyone gets on to you if you don't. Okay. The gold. Okay. The gold it is. As long as it stamps decent. We'll have to hope it stamps decent. Thank you, hon. I appreciate both things. But yes, all the lights make this corner warm. Okay, now. Okay, let me see here. Which glasses? I kind of like the gold simply because I think the green stands out too much. And I think the gold gives it more of a, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But now we have to get it to stamp decently on this thing. Next question. Maybe I should cut it out with the circle. I think maybe a bigger circle. I need my black. Where's my black? It got up and left. This is slippery, so I don't know how well it's gonna, I don't know how well it is going to stamp. That is my concern. Okay, first let's stamp it on something else so that we can. Okay, let's get this under it. Oh, no, 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 no. Uh-oh. I just threw my cardinal on the floor. There we go. We're going to stamp it twice. But then we have to let it dry because this is not, it's slippery. Lid, need the lid. Okay. Maybe do 2 circles and offset them a bit, make the circles on the page. Okay. That kind of makes a little sense. Cause yeah. I like that idea, Lisa. I'm waiting to see if this is dry. Yeah, okay. Wonder what would happen if we did a green circle. Come here. I like the green a little bit because, yes, I was thinking pulling the green from the leaves of this might be good too. Like the green behind it. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to pull this in. If I can find my cursor. Where is it? Okay, there it is. I'm going to bring us in real close so that you can see it best you can. Yeah, I like it. It's okay. I'm happy now. I just have to glue that down. Dang, that was a hard page. Very hard page. Whew. Okay, so now we need to glue the green circle down and then glue the other circle down on top of it. Uh-oh, we should ink this. We should ink it. We should ink it. Because, you know, everything else was inked. We should ink these circles. It doesn't show up a lot, but it does show up a little bit. And on that green, it does, there's a white edge because that paper is not colored all the way through. So now we'll glue them down. Oopsie. Almost did it. Yep. All right, let's. Okay, that does not want to stay stuck to there because of the texture underneath it. So let's put a little more glue and put a little clippy on it. Put another little clippy on it. There we go. And I guess we're going to put 3 clippies on it because it's poking up there. Oh, okay. I'm liking it now. I didn't for a while. And man, have I made a mess. Okay, I need to date this. That's the thing I need to do is date that. Do I have a pen somewhere? Good Lord, I have such a mess. I'm not going to be able to work at all. Thank heavens I took my, all my pictures. I'm doing a bead show at the same time I'm doing this, guys. Just FYI. It's been one of those weekends where I didn't realize I had double booked everything. I thought it was supposed to start tonight, and instead it started last night. Okay, today is September 7th. Okay. Yes. 25. Okay, now then, let me fix this. Come on. Focus. There we go. Okay, so I have that sunflower has got those little sparkly gems, diamond dots in it. It'll dry clear in a few minutes. And then it flips open and it has, you know, I like it. It took forever, but I like it. You know, it's just sometimes you know that it's just not balanced right. You know, we could put this other little bee in there. Why not? Because, you know, it could have a little bee right there, since how I put a bee on the front. Let's see. Yeah. Not only that, then it used the bee and it used the paper, and it won't go back in my it won't end up back in my scrap bin. Yep. Noisy neighbors. And it also kind of gives this page inside a little more elements than it had before, because it was a little shy. Yep, it's all Teresa's fault because she sent me Happy Mail. No, it is not your fault. I love my Happy Mail. Thank you. I'm just glad I could figure out a way to use some of it in my little look right here. So now I got to clean it up, though, so that I can put it back in your envelope, because I want to keep it to put in my journal pile. After I finish the nature journal, Teresa, I'll have to work on the sunflower one. That page does not want to stay folded, so it'll have to go into the book and stay that way for a while. I can't put it away, though, because those are, what do you call that? Those are not dry, wet Jeez, that word did not want to come out. Yeah, it was a great way to make a mess. I like making a mess that way. Like I said, at least I got all of my pictures taken this morning, so I don't have to clean this up immediately to be able to be able to do my my bead show. So I'm just going to set this up there. I need to find me a doodad so that I can make this is another one of my this is a trip from, just a minute. Oh, this is our last trip. This is our trip from the spring, and I really need to get this book made, so I thought, since I have just a few minutes before I need to go, those 3-letter words are so hard. Yes, wet. That's, I was going to say, they just don't, my brain just doesn't want to think about them. I'm just making a, what do we call that thing? Well, a stencil, basically. So, I usually put in 3 holes. And I probably have a stencil somewhere, and I haven't got a clue where it's at. And I put my holes about a 1/2 inch in from the edge. And then I put one in the center. And then, do I want a 1/2 inch in there? I'm going to do 5/8 of an inch. Do I just put in 3? Yeah, that's all. Template. Thank you, Lisa. Words are gone today. They're just gone. That's all there is to it. But if I make a template, then it's easier to mark these and come back later and punch the holes. So I'm going to just sit here and mark some of these. See, I got all excited because she was making a sunflower journal. I sent you sunflowers. Ah, well, see, and then I started the nature journal first. I've been collecting stuff for my sunflower journal for a while. Okay. All right, I am going to use these like that and put my template on there. These are not in order. I'm not going to worry about that part just yet. I'm just looking for a proper pen so that it doesn't bleed. And the problem might be where I mark. We'll have to see if this is going to work or if I need to get out something different. That ought to work. We'll hope so. Oh, this is the day I took a header, I think. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, I'm not sure what I tripped over. My own foot probably, but I went down hard. And our friends who were with us were just like freaking out um, because I had fallen. And I was laughing so hard. And he, it was just, he was so upset because I had fallen. And it was like, I'm okay. I'm really okay. But, but he was like, oh no. I needed white. You have to go back and forth with what color kind of pen you use when you're making these dots. That's why it takes so long. I think we were gone 3 or 4 months this last spring. I can't remember. We're talking about leaving very, very early in January this next year, um, so that we can go to Quartzsite. I have wanted to go forever. We've tried to go so many times and it just hasn't worked out. So I'm just looking for the light colored ones because that way I can get them marked. Let's see, there's a dark colored one. Do you guys recognize this road? Does anybody know why this road is so famous? I'm going to leave it lay there so you can see it. Let's just put it this way. There were hundreds of cars lined up on the sides of that road doing what we were doing, which was taking pictures. Yes, that's right, Lisa. Uh-oh. I just slimed that all over everywhere. It's all right. Um, that is Monument Valley, and that's the road he was running on. We were there, and the guys got out and ran along the road. We took pictures of ourselves. Longest road in America? I don't know about that, but it is the road that Forrest Gump ran on. So everybody was out running on that road. And of course, there in the spring like that, there's a lot of foreign travelers from Europe because they can they get a long time off, like a month off, and so therefore they get to they come over here, and a lot of them rent big RVs and travel around out west, and they can see a lot of things that they don't get to see at home. So there was a lot of foreign people there doing the same thing we were, running on the road. Yep, Forrest Gump. Goes by the San Fernando River? No, not. Mm-mm. Um, it runs right through Monument Valley. Uh, let me think. It's south of the Utah border. This state park is in Utah. It's in the southeastern corner of Utah. It's beautiful up there. We went up there, and this ridge right here, this is a rock right there, and the ridge is like, what, 5 feet away, and it drops down, I mean, 2 miles or better. Okay, there were campers parked right next to these rocks. You can park all out on this plateau, but you're parked right there. If you put a chair outside, you're sitting right next to that edge. So, needless to say, Tanya didn't do that. We did not do that. We had a good time. We saw a lot of things. I think we saw six national parks, 7 national parks, and about 16 national monuments. Lots of state parks, lots of other things. Now I'm just looking for the dark ones because I got the white one thing in the white marker in my hand. Yep, too close for me too. Maybe the San Juan. No, that's all the Colorado River, I think. But I don't think there is much of a river that runs through Monument Valley. Oops, excuse me. But we're talking about going South Texas again. What we're talking about doing is going to just a minute, going to Quartzsite, and then first just driving out to Quartzsite, and then taking the southern route back, so that we can stay where it's warm. Because if we go early in January, we won't want to do a lot in the cold. Anyway, the gooseneck, yeah. I may the gooseneck might be. Let me see. This doesn't tell me. This is a flyer from Gooseneck State Farm park that I. There were 2 different flyers, is the deal. And plus, we saw the Bluff Fort Historic Site. So there are like 3 different flyers that I put together to make this postcard. We spent a fair amount of time in Utah. Of course, we did Bryce Canyon, Zion, this year that we hadn't done in the past. Canyonlands again, Arches again, because our friends had not been there. So, so we took them to a few of the parks that we had already been to once. I'm not really interested in going back to spend a lot of time in Utah, unless there's a couple of places we didn't see on the western side. We changed our plans. We kind of roll with it. It just depends on the weather. It was hot this year. We couldn't dry camp hardly at all because of the heat. It was just, I can dry camp just fine when it's cold, but dry camping when it's hot is not fun. It just isn't. I would much rather dry camp when it's cold, because doing without the air conditioner when it's hot is just not fun as far as I'm concerned. Um, it just, and it was very hot. And then of course our Jeep was messed up because we were in Nevada and got into some sand and messed up the Jeep. And then the people who fixed it supposedly didn't fix it. So we had sort of a broken Jeep until we got to Iowa and found somebody else to look at it. Teresa, Mom enjoys it a lot. Okay, now these are ones I've drawn. Like if we've camped, if we spend a couple of days in the same campground, um, you know, we might not do something, you know, that's all that exciting, you know, on laundry day or grocery day or whatever. So a lot of times I will do drawings of where we're at. I have fun with that. I don't always have the time to do that. This is another one I drew. There's one in here that's just kind of a, yeah, This is like a collage-y thing of a bunch of little scrappy papers. I must have been cutting out things. What do you call it? Little collage elements. Oh yeah, thank you, Lisa. Thanks for the like button. Yeah, I'm gonna go here pretty soon, Lisa. I've got to get back to my bead show, and also this chair is starting to make my back hurt. So I'm probably about 5 more minutes at the most. But not only that, Teresa, you know, I could write it down in a journal and I could put it in a journal. What is the base for the ones I drew on? Okay, let me see. Depends on what I drew on it with, but okay, this one's watercolor paper. And the other thing is, Ellen, this one is this one is some super heavy cardstock that I got from the printer supply place, which I'm about out of. I cut this and then I use it. Let me see. That's what this is. This has got the campground map on it. Okay. This is a, what do you call that? Oh, Project Life card. That's a Project Life card. And because they're not thick enough, I put them on a index card. I use a collage medium that is, and I cover these with collage medium. Even these are covered with collage medium. But the collage medium I use is a mixture of Mod Podge and glue. It's a half and half mixture. There's actually a video on my channel of this medium that I make. I mix it. This is just a bottle I use. It says matte medium, but that's not what it is. It's Mod Podge and glue mixed together. And I mix it about half and half and then add maybe a tablespoon or two of water, depending upon how thick it is, because I buy gallons of Mod Podge and gallons of, just a minute. Oh gosh, what kind of glue is it? Dang, my words are gone today. I don't like that. It's Elmer's, but not school glue. You buy it at the, help me, Lisa, if you're there. Elmer's Glue All. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Lisa. Mod Podge and Elmer's Glue All. And it's important that it's the Elmer's Glue All. And the reason that I use that glue mixed with the Mod Podge is that when you start taking 2 pages, just a minute, let me cover up the address. Okay. And you lay them together. If it's just from the home improvement store, yes, PVC glue is what it is. If it's just Mod Podge, they stick together. So collaging in a book, it will stick. So if you mix it half and half, I don't understand why. It's got to do with the chemical compounds, but they don't stick together. The other thing is that I use something called Derwent Inktense Wax pencils. Just a minute, I'll get one. I'll get my, I think I have my small box where you can see them. Ouch. Okay, so the small box must still be in my camper stuff. I don't use it at home very often. The small box that I have, just a minute, let me back out. Especially if it's a state where there's lots of humidity. Yes, it's an excellent, it's glue I can't find. Okay, try the home improvement store. That's the first thing I will tell you. Hobby Lobby used to carry it in a small amount. It was just too, it was just a little glue bottle, and I go through it so fast that I got a gallon. But because I bought a gallon, sometimes it gets thicker, so I do have to add a little water. I'm trying to get this where you can see this good. This is the big one. This was a wonderful gift someone gave me. I have a little one that looks like a watercolor pad, Ellen. The thing about these are, once they are completely wet and then dry, they are permanent. So as long as you have watered them down really good, you can paint with them. Like, found it in a gallon size at Lowe's and Home Depot. Yes. Now she may not have that. Do you have Menards up there, Sherry? Because Menards has it too. But I use them like watercolors, and I paint with them like I would a watercolor. But because they dry permanent, then I can put my Mod Podge sealer over the top, so that when I mail this, it's also more like a store-bought postcard. This is a store-bought postcard. And see, it's, I don't know where that is. Scenic Three Rivers. Oh, this is near Elkhart. So it goes in the mail better. These, I have a travel pack though that has 24 in it. I love this big one. There's so many colors in it. I think Lisa has the 36er. I'm not sure. I don't remember what she has. I had pencils, and I liked the pencils, but I like the blacks better. And but this is a little big when I'm outside, if that makes. You put it on first and at the end. No, I only put it on after the fact. It depends on what I'm doing. Just a minute. Let me put this away so that I can. If I don't put the lid back on, then okay. On this, I only put it on after the fact. I treat, now this one is watercolor paper. I am painting. I usually paint on the smooth side. I don't like the texture side of watercolor paper. So hot press watercolor paper makes me happy. I don't need the expensive cold press kind. Um, this, I just pre-cut a lot of stuff. Now this one may have come out of a little book. I've been able to buy some little watercolor pad books that are 4x6. So that one may have come out of a book. This is also pre-cut cardstock. I just draw on it. And I'm going to tell you what I use very often. What I use to draw with, it bleeds. Just a minute. Let me go get it. Okay. I just use these. These are Pilot G2 pens. Now, these are a little harder to find than some. This is an 05, not, gosh. Yeah, okay. Can't see it. These are Pilot pens. They're just what they call a G2. Virtually every Walmart, wherever, has them. The 05s don't come in a lot of colors. Those 7s come in a lot of colors, but this is a really fine line pen, and I happen to like these. So I buy these, and I happen to like to draw with this. I've been trying to learn to draw with my with these. I'm not very good at it. I'm learning, but these can travel anywhere. So I will sketch with this. Now, one of the problems is that when you get that wet, it will bleed. Most of the time, I'm sketching nature stuff, and the bleed actually kind of colors things. Now, this bled a lot. You can see sort of the gray. I probably put a little gray into it, but a lot of that is bleed from the pen, and that's okay with me. Thanks, Ellen. I don't think I do, but I mean, I play with it and it's fine with me. The, okay, I think you can see these are right. Well, you can't really. It bled a little bit around there when I put the green over it. Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I kind of work with it in what I'm drawing. So I draw with this. I paint with this and a watercolor brush. Now these are not the ones I like. There's one I like. This gets filled with water, and so I don't have to carry water. So the little kit, the little travel kit I have has one of these in it. And then when I get back to the camper, I can put a couple of layers of this over the top. Okay. Now, this one, this one, this one. These are all made. The paper I got from the print shop. No, there's a print store. They supply printers. Okay. They sell paper to companies that print things like invitations and whatever. And they have this damage rack where if a corner gets bent, or the particular one I have it's a huge ream, and I'm almost out, but it was bent in the middle right here, and I get it a lot cheaper. It doesn't have a tag on it anymore because it's damaged. So I go in and I get to feel it, and so far they haven't had any heavy stuff like that lately. I will tell you that Five Below and Dollar Tree both have watercolor pads, pretty reasonable, that are nice and sturdy, which will probably be what I have to use if I run out. Anyways, when this is just that cardstock, and these are just flyers, and I've cut them up, and I use my Mod Podge medium to stick down the paper, and then I put a couple layers on top. So basically, like this was a hiking map. Okay, it showed the hiking route, and I don't know what else I cut off, but this is it's a really interesting tunnel. That's man-made. It goes from one side of the road to the other side of the road. It's a drainage tunnel, but it's real famous because of how it was cut out. It's been there for years. It's near Kanab, and Kanab is near Bryce Canyon and Zion and all those places. This is another one. Now, we were staying in Bluff. This is in Utah. This is a Jeep road, and if you see the little arrows. So this was another map, and these were some of the things we saw while we were on our hike, which we hiked at Butler Wash. So, and this, who knows where this came from? This came from some of the stuff I keep. You know, Jamie, Zion was pretty, but Bryce Canyon was prettier. Honestly, Zion was beautiful, but Bryce was just, to me, it was amazing. Anyway, so because you can't always, when we go for a hike, this was a Jeep ride. This is like 23 miles up and 23 miles back. Dirt roads, creek fording, I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. Plus, we did some hikes. But there's not usually postcards. I can't usually buy a postcard for that. We were in Moab. The guys went riding 4x4s. We went Jeep riding. This was multiple. Okay, this was what do you call those? One of those little town papers. So it's newspaper basically, and I really liked how it came out. It's not as heavy because the papers weren't as heavy. Stained cardstock. If I'm at a national monument or a national park and they have a little gift shop, I always buy my postcard there because I'm supporting the monument or the park. Like these came, this was, this is what I thought. This is Arches National Monument. And it's a different view from some that I have sent in the past. Like I said, we hiked to this falls. That was the day I fell down. This was the campground we stayed in, and it was the campground map. So, and then there are days like this one where postcards from the States are at the welcome centers in the drawer behind the welcome desk. When in doubt, that I had never thought about that. I usually am, a lot of times I'm driving through the state. Like I said, this is a Project Life card. Some days, let's see, this may have been, yeah, okay. A lot of times these are travel days where all we're doing is driving, and we get to a new campground and we have to set up. Oh, we went out to eat. I mean, that was the excitement for the day, probably. Another campground. We already talked about this one. This one's from Canyonlands. This one is from, this one's from the north side, I think. Yeah, this is the Sky District. This is from the north side. Canyonlands is split up into several different areas. You can't get to one of the areas by vehicle. You have to hike in, and we've never done that. I think there's 4 or 5 different areas of Canyonlands. This one's in Iowa. This is a campground we stayed at in Iowa. So, oh, we had so much fun this day. Well, we were in Iowa. We went to Cedar Rapids, and it's called the Create Exchange in Iowa. It is so bloody cool. It is a thrift store that's all recycled craft stuff. I had so much fun, and the prices were great. We could have stayed there a while, but the guys were getting really bored. I think we were there an hour and a half. It was really awesome. Anyways, guys, it's 4:15, and I have to get back to my bead show. So I will not be here next week. I'm sorry. We are going to have to go to, that Elkhart place again and pick up our RV. And we'll be gone, I don't know, week and a half week. So I won't be here for the next couple of Sundays. But I already have Tuesday, Thursday videos set up for at least 2 weeks. So I hope to get a couple more done so that I'm sure that you guys have videos for a while. Sorry that I can't do that more, but Teresa, thanks again for my look how pretty this is coming. This diamond dot thing is just, it's blingy, but it's not super blingy. I like it. So guys, thank you again, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.